Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 replay. This one's going to take place on Habitation Station versus a Zerg opponent. And I just finished that previous cast covering my build order versus Zerg on this map, mentioning how I never faced a gigantic all-in on my natural, and that's what we're going to be facing this game. So once again we can go over this build order since I've only ever shown you it once. So we're going to queue up SCVs to 15, we're building a supply depot. 13 you send an SCV to the gold. On 14 you build your gas. When this SCV arrives you build a command center. 16th SCV makes barracks, and then Inge Bay, and then Inge Bay. Constantly mining from one gas, get your 20th SCV, and then orbital at the same time you're making your first marine and your PF. When your first marine's out, transfer out 4 workers. 5th worker the natural to make a command center. Depot and bunker, we're going to create a second wall here. It looks like it's kind of late though, I'm a little supply capped at the moment. And by the way, I think this is going to happen often too. Well, okay, as soon as he takes the watchtower, he'll know I'm mining from this base. But overlords typically don't spot that. PF when that's done, we're doing factory with tech lab, followed by 4th command center. As soon as you get your 4th command center, you want to take all your gas geysers, and then start your turret ring. That factory produces a siege tank, we're just going to siege up there. Helps defend this low ground area. You can see the ring on the siege tank. Covers basically everything except for this gas geyser, so it's really easy to get this expansion up during this time. Also covers the ramp. It's really nice. I gotta complete the turret ring over here. It's gonna happen eventually. There we go. We're at early muta timing. You can see we have the initial spot the mutas would come to is covered by turrets. Maybe not a good idea to build a turret right there. Maybe I should build it right here, just for the purpose of wanting his mutas to hit here first if they are going to hit. Don't want to show him missile turrets. Yeah, turret ring's complete up here. This is going to be complete by 11 minutes, and so will this probably. And these turrets. It's a really good spot, and completing the high ground wall off just because I need depots anyways. Got both my engineering bay upgrades at once, corporate reactors done, now I'm going down to 6 starports. I think it's a good number because look at the situation we're at right now. 1900 gas in the bank, 8 geysers mining at once. It's a huge gas intake. So I think you can afford 6 starport production for probably at least your first 18 ravens. Then it might be too much because that does spend through a lot of gas, more than 8 geysers worth. But like I said, we're going to be going up against a pretty huge all-in here. It's going to be about a 13-minute hit. And if we stop right now, we can see he has 11 Zerglings, 21 Roaches, 50 Banelings. 50 Banelings, wow. We got the heavy wall in the front. And then we got like this backup wrap with a bunker part of it. So we got planetary fortress and a high ground wall off. In terms of units though, we have 1 siege tank, 4 marines, 1 Viking. But the siege tank should get in the action too, so that's kind of nice. Extra bonus hits on the Banelings. But 50 Banelings, oh my god. So we'll slow it down for the attack. So yeah, I just surround the PF, and it looks like I actually had enough. I actually saved the PF. I think I failed on the repair here though. Looks like I lose a bunch of SCVs actually to Banelings. But yeah, I had enough. I lost it. I pulled off seven workers to repair that bunker. I felt greedy. I felt like I was going to be able to keep everything up. And it cost me the PF because this many roaches, 20 roaches attacking, you need a lot of repair on the PF. And the bunker's not so important. PF is more important. Like, I guess he could run by into my main, but at least I hold this. I hold the natural and I can keep mining from there. But I do have my 6 starports complete now. And with 6 starports versus mass roaches coming to my base, I'm going to be building banshees. Because, you know, ravens can make 1 auto turret or 1 seeker missile. I already had a raven on the way though. And more roaches streaming in. And more roaches streaming in. And more roaches. Just a huge wave. Just tons and tons of roaches and zerglings and everything coming into my base. It's taking out all the tech labs smartly. But with 6 starports, as long as you've started a banshee, taking out the tech lab doesn't really do anything. It just means you can't make any more banshees after that one. So here we go, banshees are out. So man, a lot of roaches out there. Even with 6 banshees, not a whole lot getting done. Did realize he never finished off the siege tank, so it's putting down a little bit of defense for it. Hard to get surface area there. I'm actually glad I built that little depot wall. Rebuilding a command center here and here to retake these bases, but one thing I forgot is I lost my engineering base. I can't make any missile turrets. And that's going to be a problem, because if we look at the production tab, he's got 15 mutalisks on the way. And I'm all over these roaches though. Tries coming here to take out this base. I'm also heavily supply capped, 72 of 65, though the fact that he's killing some SUVs makes it a little less terrible. What is that Banshee doing? Banshee jig. Alright, so here's 15 mutalisks, and all I have is a sparse amount of missile turrets that are still alive. Even lost the ones over here and lost the ones over here. And not going to realize I can't make missile turrets for a while. So I think when I first started I didn't have enough minerals anyways. I go to counterattack to see if I can draw him back away, but he chases my banshees around, so I just leave them into what turrets I do have. And that worked out pretty well actually. He lost about half those mutas. Still no engineering bay on the way. Trying to throw down a bunch of missile turrets. At some point I gotta figure this out. There we go, there's the engineering bay. So again, these are the only mutas I have. Or only missile turrets I have. My Viking just happened to be on his patrol path coming by, so it's a nice little assist there. A pretty huge Hydra Ling force coming up here. I can finally remake those missile turrets, but not in time. And turret's down, so you should actually just pull back and let the mutas finish the job. A few turrets up my natural. Trying to do a little counter harass here, but that's not going to work out well. He can see this from the low ground, so his all turrets are going down quickly. But trying to swing around into his main. Again, I still had that huge gas bank, right? And all I had to do is throw the tech labs back on there. And even though my gas income has got like heavily destroyed, I still had that bank to spend through, so I got a decent amount of ravens out. And he's been trading his army for a lot of PFs and bases and stuff, so his army actually isn't that big. Decent split there, but he's still on a ramp. He's kind of stuck in there. So auto-turreting this ramp is really nice. I like how you can fly through this dead zone. Basically get to his main without him even knowing, although he did have an overlord there. Again, that siege tank makes it pretty good at establishing that, reestablishing this base. And now I'm gonna get a little bit more offensive with these auto turrets. He has taken 2 more expos, where I'm just trying to reestablish my 4 base. But took down both of his Hydra dens. He had 2 of them for some reason. Oh, that's not gonna be good. So he's going down. Decent Raven clump at home too. And I think I've more or less established myself in a decent spot. Got the good missile turret ring. I don't really worry about this base too much because I know the minerals mine out quite quickly. I mean, the gas doesn't, but it's the first base I take, so it's not like I'm ever going to double PF it. So swinging these Ravens around to look for alternate bases. Meanwhile, these ones are still going to work. Throw a couple more auto turrets here to take out a spawning pool. He's smartly rebuilding it already. And just hanging out with the auto turrets, replenishing energies, making sure I have a couple seeker missiles available at all times. And you can do little things like that, stay alive versus small amounts. And now my next Raven Cloud is coming here. Again, 6 Ravens at a time coming to assist. And I'm actually finally spending through these minerals. I'm in Hellbat, so I can build these 5 at a time. And without enough to kill these auto turrets, that is going to be GG. So again, if you just look at the mini-map, you can see like I'm taking bases faster than my opponent. There's my 3rd base. Fourth base. I guess it was because he's all-inning, but I expect to be 4 base versus 4 base versus an economical Zerg. This Zerg obviously wasn't playing economically because he was gearing up for the kill. Probably droning at this point, yeah. So he's ahead in drones at this point, but you can see he doesn't keep droning. He doesn't take another base. He's going to stop at 66 and just gear up for the huge attack. Even got +1 attack for his roaches. No wonder they took down the PF so quickly. So I put them up to 18? Yeah, 18 damage per shot, which is really good at negating the 5 armor of a planetary. I wonder what the army tab is right before he attacks. That's going to be pretty funny. And no, gotta get right before that siege tank hit. Army tab says he has a $7,000 army, 7,075. I have a $700 army. 7,000 to 700. Siege tank, 4 Marines. Does a siege tank of 4 Marines cost 700, really? Oh, and a Viking. Still seems cheaper than 700. $225 plus $275. Yeah, that's right. 500 plus 200 there. 50Baneling. Honestly, I think I might have been able to hold here. Okay. Gets decent connections, but right here he's out of Banelings, and I still have this many SCVs. If I had the PF fully surrounded, instead of having all these 7 SCVs and like trying to repair a bunker, I might have had enough. I don't know. 13 SCVs can repair a lot. I guess he still has a couple Banelings left. Maybe I'll lose a couple more SCVs. Would have been close. I actually had a chance of holding that like $7,000 attack at my natural. Especially with him not really focusing my siege tank. He's just kind of hanging out here getting kills. Wall off bought me about half a second. Never actually finished the orbital off. It almost burnt down actually. It took me a long time to notice it was burning. So he took about twice the damage in that attack. Still ahead in harvester count. Throwing on 2 more bases. Not supply capped. But I'm making ravens, so who cares? Ravens equals GG. It's not just units lost, but it's also this, the 1400 gas banked. That really makes going to make my army a lot bigger. Or not my army bigger, but you know, he's expended a lot of his army, and I'm going to be able to make a nice big gas army. Anywho, with that, we'll call it the end of this game. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check the description for a thumbs up link, and goodbye.